My wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa.
As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 147 of the Figura Legions podcast, and we're making a show of ourselves for the 2026 predictions. This is the one that we'll be taking clips out of to review next January again and see how wrong we were.
All right, you know,
feeling,
not that bad.
Feeling by the list of predictions I've jotted down here that I think I'm going to be in Mal's position next year when it comes to the prediction rankings. Yeah. Anyway, Malcolm Kennedy, Richard Jones here again with me, John Caulfield, as usual. How's it going, Mal?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Been a long
Enjoying
week
the
already.
Bleak January.
Yeah, no, not so much. But
this is the month we get through to enjoy the rest of the year, really, isn't it?
Pretty much. February's a little bit like that as well,
yeah.
But yeah.
It's the daylight, it's the dullness for me that's the real...
the wet and cold.
You know.
I can do with cold, but I hate wet. Ugh.
Yeah, damp. Ugh. And Rich, how's your back holding up in this
I've got the heat blanket on it at the moment, but generally it's improving, definitely. But it's just grim here. I mean, I got to the office this morning, parked up in the car park by the office, is 10 to 7. It's like, it's horribly early anyway, but it's spitting a little bit, that's fine. Pulled my phone out to pay on the app, and as I was paying, the heavens opened, and it just tipped it down. It's just like, oh, great, okay. And that started off a rubbish day, so it's,
Kind of sounds like a little extract from that story you were telling Van on Rich's Randoms last week.
Listen,
I saw a little teaser or something from that, but I didn't. It was in work, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it. Hopefully, too much in that.
I teased the question and the very start of the answer, and then it cuts off. So hopefully, people will be tempted to hear the rest of it. It's a good story and good chat with Van. We also have a couple more coming up over the next couple of weeks for Rich's Randoms, as well as we might do another. We'll definitely do another Patreon episode as well on some other stuff. And do we have a live stream coming up as well, Rich, soon?
That we do, yes. So we're doing our now annual live quiz, looking back at Legions of 2025, what we saw, what we got in hand, all that sort of thing. And as we're still technically just about close enough to Christmas, there's some Christmas movie drawings from me as well people can have.
Oh, my kryptonite.
Yeah. I think they're everyone's kryptonite, because they're not great, let's be honest, but they're fun.
Yeah, so that's going to be 31st of January, which is a Saturday.
It is indeed.
At, 7 p.m. UK? Is that right?
7 p.m. UK, yeah.
Yeah. So work out your time zones from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of the time.
We have some good guests, and
yes.
if nothing else, you'll see Mal and John embarrass themselves as per normal.
Probably.
Just like every week on this show, basically. Right. Little bit of news from Four Horsemen, or since we last spoke, a couple of things worth talking about. So shipping was number one. So we talked about all the waves that we're waiting for over the last while, I think, in the last couple of episodes. They came up in various different ways, and we have some news on that. Some kind of concrete stuff. We knew maybe some of this previously, but still worth going over, and this is kind of more concrete timeline for a lot of this stuff. 2025 Retailer Appreciation Wave has a street date, 18th of February. So if you have that on pre-order, you will have to pay for that in February, so factor that one in.
That's me.
Yeah, I have.
I got the emails from Big Bad for the ones I ordered from them.
Yeah, I have a couple of. I have 3 of that Green Snake and 3 of that Trooper to pay for. So yeah.
Yeah, I got 6 figures to pay for as well.
Yeah, and then
8 at the moment.
Rising Suns. That is the Red Star and the Noble Bear wave. Shipping begins early February from the Horsemen. We don't know if it's all ins. We don't know if it's single figures. It depends what arrives first in their warehouse, they said. But that'll be going out all of February, I would say, and into March. So,
it's going to be huge.
If you have a direct pre-order, it'll be then. I would guess the street date will be sometime around early March, would be my guess. So, another bill coming for those.
Definitely.
And Cosmic Legions Ox Crew Harrow Zone. So,
Yay.
Ox Crew 2, as we often call it, arriving in late March. So that means it'll be shipping out direct from the Horsemen late March, and then subsequently retailers. So we have predictions. So I'm not going to say what I was going to say there. That might go into one of the predictions. Infinite Legions also arriving late March. So Cosmic adjacent.
Yeah.
And quick.
Nice
we love
bumper.
that. We love a bit of. That's not long on pre-order. They didn't take too long. That's only 2 figs as such, but still, it's the spacesuits, and we actually they become even more interesting now. The Infinite Legions, because there's not much cosmic on pre-order. Those spacesuits are amazing, and we just have Cog in the next wave, and we have all the other ones, the Veloc and stuff that, we have those colours. So now we have these colours, and if you want ones for customs, might be a good option with these. Did you order these as well, Rich, the Infinite Legions?
I did, yeah. Got one of the Faden and 3 of the other dude whose name I can't remember.
The purple guy.
Yeah.
Fanost.
Fanost, yeah.
Excellent. And then more stuff. Q2 2026. So Q2 is April until June. So somewhere in that window. Ashes of Agbendor. So they were, it's going to be the 2-year mark for this, unfortunately, but is what it is. But it's coming. So exciting.
Yep.
Roll on that Shadow Centaur. I'm looking forward to that, even if you two aren't.
There's some cool figures in there, in my opinion. No, I am looking forward to it.
This is the one wave I think it's the one Mythic Legions wave in the last 4 years that I didn't order everything from. So, an all-in from. So, controversial take there from me. Up until Dawns of Discovery, that is actually. But I will probably order the other Dawns of Discovery ones from a retailer. So, it was more just how it worked out.
At the time, yeah.
At the time, yeah. But this other one was, I'm not getting those ones that I didn't get.
Too fussed by a bunch of them, were you? So.
Yeah, it wasn't too many, but it was a couple. Definitely that Shadow Centaur, yeah. So that's the one where the all-ins will shift first for sure. that's my guess. But quick off the production ranks is the Graveyard Zombies and Skeletons, also arriving in Q2. So from last November. So that's a good timeline. As well as the Legacies, so the pre-order batch of that, which was up for pre-order in October, I think, last year, around that October time, just after the direct in-stock sale of them. And then Beatir is still scheduled to ship 2026, so that's the latest update. I mean, that was the update, but now it's updated again in January 2026 that they still expect it to be on track. So exciting. There is other waves, in the mix here that they haven't mentioned, but that could still, come into the picture for this year. Like, the Beasts, the
Rising Beast.
Reign of the Beasts.
Reign of the Beasts. Yeah.
So, and of course, when a lot of stuff starts to ship to us, it means stuff has to come in on the pre-order side and take its place. So here's what's happening in that regard. Character 2-packs, they're ending January 25th. So that's this weekend, basically, that this podcast is released first. So if you want to get them direct from the Horsemen, now is the time. Otherwise, retailers should pick most of them up, but that comes with the caveat that that's up to the retailer whether they'll pick them up. But we think at least Big Bad will have them. So at the very worst, you have an option. Infinite Legions, Arkan the Cruel. Pre-order begins late January. We'll probably be talking in more detail about this guy next week. Then, if they early next week start to put out some info about him.
It's definitely in the next couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. Late January, meaning, the day we live stream is Saturday the 31st. So it has to be next week.
It does. Yeah. My guess is a Wednesday reveal and then a Friday pre-order.
Oh, great. So
yeah, so it'll scupper us completely, but
you say that, but then if the Kickstarter's late February, so you're probably right, Rich. Yeah.
So, as Mal said, Kickstarter role-playing game late February. More stuff to come on that
so
in a second. We have a few more details on that.
I've been rounding up mates who aren't in the Legions community, but like the idea of playing D&D. I've been going, soon, by the end of the year, we're going to be doing it.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, definitely, we should do that. And once you learn all the rules, then you can run an online game for us, me and Rich. And then what a lot of people have been waiting for, and especially those that didn't make it last November to New Jersey to Legions Con, in-stock sale begins in April, and that is for the Legions Con figures. So it's everything pictured here at the bottom of this slide, which is the Crossroads figures, those 4, which are basically 2 separate figures. But will these be boxed? No, these will be boxed. I don't know how they will be boxed.
I think it'll still just be the 2, won't it?
Just the 2, yeah, without the exclusive bits. So
yeah.
A 1.0, which is the Revenant, and the Nymph Shura. Revenant
maybe you might swap the heads that are on the figure in the box, maybe.
Yes, that's what they do. They reverse them, yeah. Koi, the Legions Con surprise drop. Toth, the Figura Obscura. And then we also have the Legacies, Scaphoid and Sir Valgard.
Oh, yes.
They'll be there. Yeah. And we also have the Armory figures.
Oh, do you think they'll be in that?
Oh, no, Jeremy has said in the comments of the posts, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
that's the one I want. Well, it works for me.
Get expensive.
Well,
so keep a few quid for April, yeah. Yeah, my birthday's in May, so maybe I'll just get a 4 Horsemen gift voucher. Will be what I'll ask for my birthday. Slightly earlier, maybe, if the sale closes before then.
I'm with you, John. I'm in early June, so yeah. Gift voucher, boom.
I think what I want is the Armory. All in on the Armory.
Yeah. Same.
That's pretty much what I want out of this, because I have the other ones.
I want the all in on the Armory and a few extras of some of the various ones with the belts and the trousers and boot combination that I want. So yeah,
I think I'm thinking all in plus a couple, probably just the 2 extra White Orc build.
And what about Koi and there's the other figures?
I've got 3 Koi. I guess probably enough. Is it 3 or 4? 3.
See what kind of FOMO we get on the day.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm fine. Unless you guys going, I bought 6.
Yeah, you should be.
Definitely a couple more.
It'll be if it sits there for a day. Then Rich will start getting twitchy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then probably another 3 or 4 Revenants. I only got the 1 to keep a Legions Con, so I need some more of that as well.
Right.
Good luck with that.
I'd probably get another Valgard.
Oh, okay. The dwarf, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Right. We also had this little fella, the heroic elf rogue. His full debut at the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. So we get the painted version of him. That's supposed to be bluish. So Payne's Grey, it's called, the colour, on his sleeves and his pants. Brown leather. That is the Poxus torso, it looks like. Belts, stuff like that. Cool new head.
Didn't our good friend Brett do a comparison, and it's actually the Scapular torso.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
scapular. Yes. Okay, it looks very similar to boxes.
Yeah,
yes, you're right. Okay, and then the new head, obviously, you see it there in slightly more close-up.
Yeah. Comes with... Yeah.
Yeah, scapular, yeah.
That's a badass-looking head.
Yeah, and this is one of the base player figures that will be offered as part of the Kickstarter for just $30, so $29.99. That's $30. A pre-rolled character sheet for this character will be included in the beginner box, which I think we'll all be getting a beginner box for sure. And this will be offered. We'll have a corresponding mini of his elven rogue. So very cool. That's cool. And of course, since this is a Legions figure, the configurations here is just the beginning. You can pop and swap parts to upgrade and customize your character. And we have a very cool character pack planned to go alongside this rogue. So that'll be extra, but not crazy extra. It'll be, a few dollars extra, probably the 10 or 15. I don't know how that works.
So that was how the red...
The Red Knight
was going to work, wasn't it? It came as one configuration, and you could buy the character pack that was the other configuration that you got with the Comic-Con versions, which is a good idea, fantastic idea.
Interesting here for you, Rich. This will allow you to transform him into a completely different profession and a different species.
Different species, that's the important one. Hello.
So kicks off end of February, as we've said before, and as it says here. So very exciting. We will definitely be all over this, and there'll be a few episodes at least, I'm sure, on this whole topic.
Here comes my Sharkman Rogue.
Well, I have a prediction that might reference what I think.
We're getting there.
With this. Yeah.
So this was another picture that they posted from this display they had, and there you can see that it's the character pack for the Red Knight. It has it's a cleric head repainted in there. It has another knight, and then you can see the knight head. There's the knight minis, a bunch of different dice, paladins cool. there. Yeah. This all looks amazing. You can see character sheets. The character sheet there for Varg. So
that's one, and I haven't made this prediction, but one thing I would love is like a monster manual of existing characters from the mythos. That would be.
I'm sure there will be something like that. I'm sure there'll be something to cover that. It would make sense because
there might be, doesn't it? But yeah.
And then just the last picture here I have is of the map, kind of table. And
I forgot what it was called now, but it was like a book, wasn't it? That you could have the miniatures sized map, then switch to the action figure size map, which is very cool.
And then one last thing here, a bit of news: Graveyard Skeletons. The box art was revealed, and they're going to come in coffins. Little cardboard coffins. So
I prefer that to the actual skeletons, to be honest. Except the black one, which would be cool.
This might tempt me to pick up one or two.
Couple, and keep the box.
And this is done by Tom Tolman, I think. So very nicely done and very appropriate. So if you want to see that in even higher definition, better detail, the Horseman's socials have pictures of that. So just scroll back a few days and you'll see it. Right. So now last minute scribbling there for the predictions. It's time to actually get into it.
We're going to get a mid-year wave for Mythics, and I think it will follow on from the horror of Einsamal, but bridge the horror and the Dawns of Destiny? Is that what it was called? Discovery. Dawns of Discovery. And I think the ship mentioned in the horrors, because we never actually get a description of the Undertow in Dawns of Discovery. I think the ship mentioned in the horrors is the Undertow with the red sails. and I might be misinterpreting it, which will completely wipe out my whole. But in Captain Ironjaw's, not Ironjaw, Iron Skull. Yeah, Iron Skull. It's going to be one of those days. Iron Skull's bio. It might just be poetic language the way Jeremy's written it, but it says about the Undertow crew are sent on missions no one else wants to do, and it's one of these missions that puts them in conflict in the sights of, or the head-to-head with. I suppose the time frame's probably wrong, isn't it? But they could still be around.
Don't overthink it, Matt. Don't overthink it now.
No. But anyway, so I think they're actually there doing this Einzelmal mission, and they've run into. They haven't actually been sent to attack the ship. They just happen to have encountered it. So I think the mid-year wave is going to be a mix of. So the thing about that mid is a Garmir's belt and the vampire element of it. So I think we're going to get, in the mid-year wave, a mix of Undertow crew and some sort of vampires. And I think there'll be different vampires to we've seen before. Somehow, I don't know how, they'll have a different lineage, so they can do something different with them.
I'll be honest, Mal, I hope your prediction's better than mine then, if they're going to be more vampires.
And I've said, I don't say this lightly, I think there might be a shark man in the Undertow crew. Because it just feels like it would fit.
You've just taken all of Rich's predictions.
I'm just literally crossing them off my phone now, going, fine, yeah.
And then, but that's as deep as I'm a bit out of a couple of vampires, no idea what they'll look like, but I think they'll look a bit different to what we used to. I just don't know how quite, and I don't know who else will get in that crew. That's where we should say to the listener, shouldn't we? It's so hard now predicting anything.
It's crazy.
Because there's no educated guess, because they're all over the place.
Because there's the hints that Jeremy gives, but then like everyone kind of can guess them at this stage because so many people are in the weeds on it.
Yeah.
So now you just really have to throw darts at the board to be kind of anyway.
But that's what I've got for mid-year wave. I think that's what we're getting.
I have slightly more than that, so I apologise if Seppo runs long. John, don't kill me.
No, it's good.
Go for it.
So I've done a little story to tack it on. It's just 4 little paragraphs, but bear with me, people, on this one. So this
will not be in the review episode of these predictions.
No. So I spent most of the last 2 days when I wasn't working thinking, how are they going to carry on from the Horror Einzelmal wave, but fit the vampire type feeling to it as well. So I got a little backstory, and then we'll leap into the 8 on characters I've spelled out in detail.
He's done, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm not messing around here.
Right. I promise to edit this episode well, because I have not done the homework as well.
Yeah. Once upon a time, no. So eons ago, before current mythos, the Brood sent an army to the Northlands to conquer it. They thought the cold weather and limited daylight would make for a perfect vampire territory. The army, led by vampires, mainly included sycophants from various races who wanted eternal life by becoming vampires, so it's agreed to fight for the Brood to achieve this. That includes humans, elves, all sorts of other races we know. The expedition, however, was far more difficult than they could ever have imagined. At almost every step, they had either fierce resistance from northern tribes of humans and other races, or had brutal encounters with fearsome, previously unknown races like the Yeti and Fenrikin. After months of fighting, the vampire army had subdued the great creatures like Fenrikin and Yeti, and felt they were on the verge of victory with just a small settlement called Vikenfell left to conquer. However, when they made it through the mountains and stood before Vikenfell, they saw not a small settlement but a small city. The ensuing battle was ferocious, with the rugged citizens of Vikenfell willing to fight to the last person, and also having recruited a band of giants to help them. Across the course of the battle, the Brood army lost vampire commander after commander, until the final vampire fell. Seeing their masters all perish, the army broke and fled the battlefield, disappearing, never to be seen again. So that's the historic bit of it. Now we jump back to more modern times. Igraine and her party returned to the castle of Four Sides and relayed what had happened. Bloody autocorrect. No one had ever heard of a Northern Ocean or a ship like the one they described. General Delphina suggested they talk to one of the Fisherman Guild members currently in Mythos. The guild members, one by one, said they did not recognise the ship. But finally, an old fisherman stepped forward and said he had once seen a ship like that. It belonged to a group called the Lost Brood. These pirates and slavers are rumoured to live on islands in the far Northern Ocean. He spoke of their blood-red sails and how they worship blood gods. They are feared by all the races in that part of the wider mythos, he said. They had blood priests that conjured portals to help them move cities full of slaves to their islands. The old fisherman and a crew from Mythos sail off to try and find these slavers and see what threat they actually pose to Mythos and the Northlands. While on their journey, they encounter a Lost Brood raiding party and help the locals fight it off. So that's setting the scene. It's quite a lot of stuff to set the scene, but this is wrong. So basically, the vampire sigil is there because it's vampire worshippers that went off by themselves out of Mythos.
Right. And that first bit of lore was even before the Einzmal wave then?
Oh yeah, that first bit of lore was like a couple of thousand years ago, probably.
So you can sometimes not get your own laptop working, but you seem to have nicked Jeremy Gerard's laptop. I mean, he streams regularly. Why can't you use his laptop to connect to the StreamYard here?
A few times his hasn't been working very well either.
Maybe he is using it then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay then. Now let's look at the characters.
Okay.
Broken John already. Can you hear it in his voice?
Yeah.
We're only half an hour in. Okay. So and a lot of these characters are like slightly flight of fancy by me. I'm not necessarily thinking we're going to get them necessarily, but it could be versions of this.
It worked for you last year. So
do you know what I mean? If this proves correct, then I really am like an earworm for the Horseman. Yeah. So the old fisherman, ideally for me, he would be a pufferfish man. So a really spiky face.
Polite.
Could have like a really fat torso as if he's puffing up as well,
that
sort
would
of
be
thing.
So cool.
Jeremy, here's my wish list.
Eric, here's my wish list.
Then the ship from Ethros has a human captain, but it is a military vessel. So it's not like a trading vessel. It's a proper military vessel. So the captain has armor because it's a military vessel, but the leather boots, the soft goods, cloak or a coat or something like that. Not like a pirate as we, not like a pirate, but that sort of look as we know it, but that sort of armoured sort of thing. And this is the thing that probably what...
Sorry to interrupt. And I've only just thought this about poor old Delphina. If that ship ever has an accident and she goes overboard, she is done for in that armour.
Oh, she will sink like a stone. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, gone.
She's brave.
Yeah. And this is the coup de grace for my human captain. He has a conquistador-style goatee. So, with a big moustache coming out, pointy little beard. I'm looking for that. With and without helmet.
Okay.
John is looking stunned for those that just listen on the audio. So those are two of the goodies. And then the third and final good guy in the wave would be an elven warrior. The flock, for some mysterious reason, wanted to be part of the mission. They didn't say who, but we'll find out later. It'd be a 1.0 build because I really like the idea of him being a bit of a badass, a real like rough warrior type elf. I mean, I know they're doing the thief thing with the game, but this is just a bit more, loads of knives, loads of swords, like a real.
So you've gone for a flock figure, but you haven't gone anthropomorphic. I mean, come on.
I haven't. No. Okay. There's time in the G-Con wave for anthropomorphic stuff, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
So those are the goodies. So now we go on to the Lost Brood bad guys. So starts off with a blood elf captain of a ship, and it was the same ship that was seen sailing away, and now he's raiding a settlement. 1.0 build, wanted to be a big guy. Dark grey skin colour to make him stand out from the other elves. I mean, it could be light purple as well, potentially, but like a dark grey sort of skin colour. Like really properly twisted features, as if it's like, you know, he's ancient. He might have been with the vampires when they first went north, sort of thing, and he's like haggard and twisted features. Red armour, hence the sort of blood elf element to it, and then big cloak of some sort. Then we have a blood elf corsair. This will be a female 2.0 build. Black and red armour, just to mix the armour colours up a little bit. And who doesn't love black and red? I want a fancy new sword, curved, but with like jagged edges to it as well. So like a curve and then goes out a little bit. Yeah. I want a big flowing cloak. You know, the sort of thing she can just swish over her shoulder as she slices somebody up. And thinking of parts I already have, I want a cage. It's like the bird cage, where she carries around a decapitated head from their last raid as like a warning to other people.
I mean, yeah, we've kind of got that with the, is it Chirel? Or
the Chirel,
Chirel, so yeah.
It's still in that idea a little bit, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then the last three bad guys. We have a rat soldier as part of them.
I didn't even think about that. That's a bad shout.
So, you know, a rat rather than a mouse. I mean, I know the heads on the mouse look quite ratish anyway, sort of thing, but use the Mouse King Buck, obviously, with the hands and the really scary-looking feet.
Would make a good member of the Undertow crew.
He would. This is true, Mel. Yeah. I want a new evil rat head as well.
Yes.
Like a proper evil, snarly sort of head, maybe. You can use a shouting mouse head as like an alternate head as well, but like a snarly one, and then like brown in colour. That would work for me. We then have a harpy. So a mysterious creature from, you know, the North lands, as it were, that have joined this Lost Brood. 2.0 build, my second 2.0 build of the wave. I want a screaming head, like proper screaming hair going all over the place. That's the sort of look I want. I want scaled body part. I want. This is basically what I want, isn't it, rather than what I think. Scaled body parts, yeah, but also like smooth ones as well. I think, you know, you could do a harpy, you never know. Long-fingered hands and some like demon-like wings on the back.
Did you say demon wings?
Not say demon wangs, but you know, there's a couple there for Jeremy, so we can count them up.
So, did he say demon wings or demon wangs? Huh? That's it's up to you to decide.
And then lastly, and I think a lot of my thinking with this and the G-Con wave is that I want to pull in more fantasy sort of tropes. Now that we've started expanding it, let's do more stuff. So I wanted an elemental in, but I want a blood magic elemental.
We already have blood. Was it blood vampire in this wave?
Yeah, but this is like working with them, so it's a blood magic elemental.
Okay.
I mean, you could use the genie kind of elements we've got. Could use some of them on it, and
good, absolutely. I want lots of translucent part mouths. You'd be glad to know. So I want translucent red hands, so that it's like conjuring stuff up, and the hands are changing. I want the head, so 2 different heads. One almost looks like I was watching Clash of the Titans, the new modern version the other day, with that genie that looked like a wooden sort of face. I love that look. So, like, the elemental normal look would be that sort of thing, but then a translucent red version of the same sculpt. That would be awesome. I want a cloak, but with lots of, like, thin pieces of material sort of thing, rather than one big cloak. So you could do all sorts of cool poses and that with it.
A bit like, is it Mr. Sinister has?
Yes.
Yeah.
And some new magic effects. There you go.
That'd be cool. More magic.
So I think that could work as a storyline and why the vampire thing is there. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying we're going to go down the blood elf route, but
Rich now trying to convince Jeremy and Eric to do story ideas he wants.
You're like the toy company equivalent. If you worked for you're like the equivalent of, you know, that guy in the office, the sales guy who goes out and promises the client the sun, the moon, the stars, everything. And then there's me and Mal back in the office. We do all the programming. We do all the back office stuff. We do all the production. We manage all that stuff. And you're now telling us, and we're like,
If you think that's bad, wait till I get to the G-Con wave. We're going to run out of money on the new tooling required.
So, are you done with the
For the mid-year wave,
prediction here? Yeah.
For the mid-year wave, that's done.
Pray for future John, trying to basically get the details out of that.
And
right, here's my prediction for the mid-year wave. Here's what I said. I'll quote myself. It's going to be very short. Mid-year wave will deal with the meeting of the Einsmal party and the Golden Gill. So
okay, you're going the other way. Yeah.
And then I also said, time for more flock and brood figures this year. The last flock figure we got was Kai Pasha. And we got Frost Ogre, who's in the brood from last year, but he's not very brood.
He's not
classically brood, you know. So, and very few figures in those factions since their versus wave. So, I've kept it generic. I'm most likely to be right if you guys are right, for sure. So I can sing and dance about this. You're going to get a lot of stuff wrong with your prediction there, Rich. You're going to,
or I'm going to nail it, and you guys will be just like.
Yeah, but I can really screw you over by leaving out like the two little obscure things that you got right among all the wrongness. Just
wrong after right.
Okay, but I think we're all on the same. We're all on the same train there. It looks like that's set up to be some sort of mid-year wave, the meeting between these two things, and we all recognise that the flock and the brood probably need a couple more characters, and that might happen that way. Now, if we get flock and brood characters another way, I'm taking it as a victory lap as well. Yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll get there when I talk about my end of year wave.
Okay. Well, Mal, it's over to you next. You drive the.
Oh, is that you haven't even tried? Oh, John.
No.
You're just dialing it in today, John.
I am the editor / producer of this show. I do not want to script myself 25 minutes of story for every point I make.
When he's edited it together, it'll sound like our predictions are his, but with weird. He'll be like, "I'm just going to do an impression of." Right. Anyway, so G-Con wave. There's obviously a lot of we have to dig into and try and work out what Jeremy meant with there being room at the table for everyone. We think it was, wasn't it? He said in the shooting the shelf at the end of Legions Con. So I think they're going to take the opportunity in next year's G-Con to revisit new mythos so that we don't completely go away from that, and there's an opportunity to keep introducing the old style characters and that people have fallen in love with. And I think it's going to be the meeting that happened between the Golden Guild. Was it the Golden Guild? No, that landed first on New Mythos.
The ship with Koi?
Yeah, the original.
That's Golden Gill.
Yeah. So the original. Yeah, so the Golden Gill. I think it's going to be the meeting between the Golden Gill crew that had survived and the sort of, the different. What would you call them?
Faction leaders,
emissaries of the factions. So we'll get. So I think they'll take the opportunity to introduce a couple more version 2s. I've actually gone on to Legacies next. So, but I wonder if we might see a Legion 2, version 2 of Orn Steelhide, maybe, because he needs a bit of a refresh, or a lot of people seem to want him to have a refresh. And I think now we've got the lighter dwarf armor, it would suit him better.
Are you still on the G-Con wave here, Mal, or have you lurched off onto Legacies?
No, this is G-Con. They're kind of, there's a little bit of overlap, but this is
cool.
What I think might be in the G-Con wave. Because I definitely think we get a dwarf character as well, because that's another one we haven't really... We're getting the set with what's coming in the next few months, but if you think about it, that was a pre-order from nearly 2 years ago, and we've not had any more dwarves or any more little people other than imps since then. And goblins. We had the goblin pack, but that was quite sooner.
And Glyos.
And Glyos. And I actually think it might include some of those that were traditionally the bad guys, I've put in quotes, who are now more, there's a bit of an uneasy truce in places, so we might get some members of the Red Star again. Do I mean the Red Star? House of the... Yeah, I do, don't I?
Scapular's crew.
Yeah.
Sons of the Red Star.
Sons of the Red Star. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So
how dare you use the word house in their name? Shame on you.
Sorry. We might get some more of them. Yeah, I think, I haven't... mainly... I think, Orn Steelhide 2.0 is the only thing that really... Because I wondered about legacies, but actually might fit better in a wave rather than as a legacy character. So that's my only bit of thinking. It's a bit wishy-washy, but...
That's good. I like it. It's more like my predictions. Rich? Shall we
reading through my
G-Con
again? Reading through my G-Con thing again, I'm thinking, like, this really is a wish list for me rather than anything. But I'm gonna go for them all anyway, and if I get 3 or 4 of them, then I'm going to claim glory, and I'll be very happy.
Why not?
So I think the table reference is when they actually land in the next continent, and there's a huge giant table, and they all meet around that. The people from the ship, from Etheros, and the new people.
I see what you're saying. It's not, but absolutely could be. You're right.
I didn't mention Vitus there because I'm hoping he falls overboard and doesn't make it. But that's just my dislike for scantily clad people. So, okay. So I've gone for lots of new stuff. It probably won't be like that. They'll probably throw a human from the other continent in, like they did with Ibn and that sort of stuff. And if they do as good a job as they did with Ibn, that's fine. But I've stayed away from that.
See how those faceplates make people excited?
Yeah.
This is how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So the only character I'm going to use from the ship that was sailing over there. No, he's not from the ship that was sailing over there. Ignore that. The only character I'll use from what's now New Mythos, so the old continent, is a version 2 of Sir Galaron.
Funnily enough, that was one I toyed with. I've actually not included him, but I did toy with putting him as one of the couple of version 2s for my G-Con wave as well.
The Knights do so well that I think they're going to try and get another Knight in. And originally I was thinking another Templar. And it's like, we've had a lot of Templars recently. I'm not sure they can get another one in again. So Sir Galaron, full helmet and visible face options, a new shield boss of some sort. They're doing really well with those shield bosses, so let's get a new one of those. And obviously he's got the slightly different armor color, hasn't he? So, you could make it a bit more purpley again, like some of the pictures look and that sort of thing, if you wanted to. And he's not alone. So he left after Delphina to warn, basically his idea was to warn Delphina about this new threat from the north, the Lost Brood, some tying them in. And he flew over on a griffin. So I'm predicting a griffin as a mount. Now, I said this for last year and got it wrong, but I'm sticking with it because it's a great idea.
Again, I wouldn't. That actually, good idea, I think.
Yeah. So he flew over on a griffin. So there's him. That's him in the mount. So that's the big mount thing out of the way. So then the people who meet over there. Guess what the first one's going to be?
A shark man.
A shark man chieftain.
Oh, chieftain. Okay.
A chieftain. Yeah. So
not one with the satellite dish on his head, no.
No. Although people can buy that sculpt from us and he'd make a very good guard or something to go with him. But no, very quickly, fin on the back of the head. I think that always works really well with the shark head. Hands and feet are modified fins. I want a tail and a snarling head and an armored head. So if you can have a shark, you want him properly, he's angry. He's not being consulted on these newbies that just turn up, so he's not happy. Then I think we need a Fisherman's Guild, either an ambassador or sort of the leadership of the Fisherman's Guild there. It'll probably be a fish person. I think that's a really good chance for that, but I think it'd be probably a fish person. But in an ideal world, he would be a cephalopod. So back to my normal obsession with tentacled hands and feet. I'd want 2 heads, one peaceful, serene-looking guy, and one where someone's stood on his tentacle at the table and he stood up and he's roaring and his mouth's open and the tentacles on his face are going in all directions and he's angry. And I think a really cool little extra piece would be like a black plastic piece, as if he's spitting ink at somebody, like a defense mechanism. So that's him. I think we'd also have somebody from the Seafarers there. I mean, I know the Captain Ironskull and that are real baddies, but, I think generally the Seafarers interact with the other groups. I think again, this has cost a fortune and all this sculpting and tooling, but as the big crab went down so well, I'm thinking a 1.0 scale crustacean. Could be a crab, could be a lobster type guy, segmented arms and legs, and extra limbs.
Babies.
Yes, and extra limbs coming out the back. Maybe a crab claw as a weapon.
It's like a skeleton using a bone arm as a weapon.
Yeah. The next character sort of jumps ahead to my Infinite Legions prediction, but it's like a turtle or a kappa character. I have a feeling we'll have the turtle character from the Dark Order as part of the Infinite things, so you could reuse that buck, save some tooling money there. Would have new hands and feet, which you could reuse on a character I'm going to come to in a minute. And I want it, I don't know, for some reason in my head, a turtle character would have a soft, even if it's made of solid plastic, a soft goods style hat. So it wouldn't be like an armored hat. It's like, no, I'm chilled. I'm an ambassador here. I'm just going to have the soft goods style hat. Then I want the imp scale back in. I love the imp scale. I want more of these. And I want a little fairy. Right. So female fairy, imp scale buck, 2 heads. So one's like lovely and nice and happy-go-lucky fairy, and one you've pissed her off and you're in trouble now and she's looking a bit angry. Little wings, little see-through wings, and a blow dart weapon would be a good one, I think, for her.
Those won't break at all.
Not at all, no. Again, I've thought this through, John, don't worry. As I said, if I get 2 or 3 of these, I'll be over the moon.
I'm just going to play business implementation manager here with you.
Yeah. Next up, as one of the ambassadors around the table, we have a Rockman. Brute or ogre scale. Probably brute scale. We want rock texture upper arms and legs. It can be armored down below that, but there's some different texture. Almost like the Thing, but without being the Thing. Bare hands and feet, ideally, and you could probably use the turtle ones if you just painted in the same colour as the rock texture stuff. I think that would work. 2 different heads. I'd want 2 different heads. You could have different types of rock people. So you could have one with like not the Thing, but that sort of patterning. And then you could have another one with just big slabs of rock or something like that to give you some options there. Lizard Man, obviously. I'm going to say that every time until we get some. I've been through it loads of times. Mesoamerican style armor, ideally, and ideally blue. Definitely not green. I don't want a green lizard man. We've got green snakes, etc.
This is the predictions episode, Rich.
Well, some of these might come true, so this is what I'm going for. As Mal said, it's really difficult now. If we were doing the old mythos, the predictions were, you could really dial them in, whereas this is a bit like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, for me and Anthony House Seal, a fungi person. So I want a toadstool type head. I want a second head, but with little fungal growths at the top of it, like you see with toadstools and that sort of stuff.
So when you were like, that was going back and forth in our chat with Anthony, made me work. What would you think if that was an imp scale character? Would that work for you? That would.
I'd take any sort of thing. I mean, in my head, it'd be a dwarf scale sort of build. Right. But imp scale would work absolutely fine with that as well. I'd be quite happy. Yeah. And then maybe you could use the Thraxian scout armor for that sort of wood effect type look with a fungi creature.
That'd be cool.
There we go. That's my predictions.
Yeah, I predict they're not going to do 2 G-Cons in a row fish people, right?
I only said one fish person.
Yeah, but you didn't. You just cephalopod. We're going to include that.
Person,
shark
crustacean person, and a shark man.
I could see us getting a cephalopod this year.
Yeah, but not in the
G-Con
wave. Don't know what
and how, and maybe not the G-Con wave. Maybe more in the mid-year wave.
I think it gives you.
I've talked about.
It gives you some continuity though from the Dawns of Discovery.
But it doesn't move anything on either, though.
It does, because you've got one of those or maybe 2 of those, and then you've got all these other types of creatures. This is why the other types of races would be good.
Does. Yes, it does. Listen, Jeremy, it does. I promise.
Yeah. No, but like the mid-year
I've
wave.
already discussed it, Jeremy. Don't worry.
The mid-year wave that we've talked about first moves things on more because you get flock characters, you get brood characters, this is just like it's like All-Star 6 with Necronominus, and I don't think they're going to do that again.
Okay, call me Clever Clogs. What have you got? Without getting all defensive, what have you got?
Yeah, it is very like in saying that I am only criticizing you for the sake of the podcast because it's fun.
No, as I said, if I get 2 or 3 of those right, I'll be quite happy.
And at the same time, it is much easier to just say what we're not going to get than what we are going to get. So I think that has to be appreciated. So there's room for everyone at our table. I think that's hinting at a diversity of characters. So I had said a long time ago that a dream wave for me would be like 1 character from every faction, for example,
which is kind of where
a thing.
Was trying to go with what I...
So that's what I think it's going to mean, something like that, more like that. So maybe like a Fellowship of the Ring type of thing, or a Covenant of Shadow 2 type of thing, where it's a meeting. I like Mal's idea of we're going to maybe see the meeting, to maybe not the meeting with like Coy and all those guys, or the people from the Golden Guild ship, but maybe the meeting after that event has happened. And
decide
it's like,
who's going
okay, they've sailed, or no, Fetus and Delphine have gone. They've sailed off, and then it's back together. What do we do now, guys? We can't just let those 2 off on their own. Maybe we have to have another plan, and maybe that's how they get tangled up in maybe this incident that happens in the seas with the Einsmal, and that all kind of links together, possibly.
Is there a chance if you did that, though, that in theory you'd have to have all good characters? Because obviously the good factions won the war.
Well, that's
if they're all
meeting
after that.
I think there's got to be uneasy alliances in there somewhere, because they can't have just completely wiped out all of the evil in the realm. So it's either in hiding or some of them made uneasy alliances. And I think that way you can have some of the evil characters in amongst your good characters.
Yeah, that is definitely a problem with it, but room for everyone at the table means that,
good and bad.
Yeah. And I guess you could have maybe an orc if the orcs did revolt against Arathir as part of that. Yeah. So
there are hints of things like that, aren't there, in the story that some could.
If you have a world that's under threat, there's some sort of perceived threat, then it's in everyone's interest, good or bad, to maybe come together for a bigger idea, and then afterwards we can get back to scrapping between ourselves.
Yeah.
And then there's all the tension in between that.
So there you go, actually.
He's sabotaging my prediction. I love it.
Maybe. No, it's a kind of similar, but maybe the meeting is actually, well, hang on, this huge dragon suddenly appeared. Yeah. This is a bit scary. So maybe that's the meeting. And again, everyone in the in New Mythos would be welcome at that, and that would be after they've set sail as well. So
Well, that's quite a delay between. Only thing I'd say with that, I like the idea, Mal, but there's a delay. Jeremy said from the Golden Gill landing to the Dawns of Discovery, there's months and months in between.
So it would be.
So it would have to time with that somehow. Sort of thing. You couldn't have like a fairly quick meeting. You'd have to go, well, we've been thinking about this dragon for like 8-9 months. Now we're going to have a meeting about it.
Well, it might be between that time.
Maybe they can have a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting.
Maybe they're sending carrier pigeons. Maybe there'll be like a pack of carrier pigeons with little notes that you can do your own sort of things on.
That's true. It could take weeks to travel across Mythos to the meeting. So,
So
you could have them ambushed on the way to the meeting by some nasty things that are still in Mythos.
So
sorry, John, carry on.
I still think we're more likely to get Aetheron and Xylona in Legacies, But I think this is another way we could get them, is in the G-Con wave as part of this meeting of, all the factions, so to speak, or some sort of uneasy collaboration between all the factions. So we get so when we're saying diverse here, I mean different factions, they don't necessarily have to be, fishman, barbarian, a knight, it's not that sort of thing. So that's kind of the general idea for the G-Con way for me. Other very literal reading of it is maybe we're just getting a large tavern diorama with a bunch of different characters, and the story is just going to be of a session in a pub.
If that's what we get, John, have the camera on me again, because it won't be the happy face that I had this year.
Right. Let's move on. Then, do you have any? Are we going on to legacies now, Mal? Or
I thought that was probably because it follows on from mythics, doesn't it? A bit. I think we.
I also have some.
Oh yeah.
Kind of random mythics ones that aren't legacies.
Oh, go for it.
So
I don't think I have.
Or do you have a prediction for the touring figure?
Oh yes, that's a good shout. So I think the touring figure is either one of two things. I think
you get to choose one.
Okay, female 1.0 barbarian.
Okay, that's exactly my prediction as well. So we're all three for female tour.
I think
1.0.
It'll be very similar to the legendary barbarian with different hair colours to reflect different.
I would imagine there'll be a red hair for Red Sonja and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and there's the blonde lady who's in Conan and
now for entertainment's purposes, what was your other choice that doesn't count as your prediction?
Female Valiant Knight.
Yeah, that's not.
That's based on the whole. I've said her name once already, and I can't remember what it was. Delphina, kind of like they did. It was, look what the knights are going to be like. Here's a Valiant Knight. In a similar way, they've done that. I could see them doing a female Valiant Knight. Look at what the armour's like and get everyone excited. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but I don't think. Maybe I just don't want it. I don't know.
I'm not keen on either of those, to be honest. So
What? So, Rich, what would you like it to be?
Oh, see, I was so zoomed in on it being a female barbarian. I didn't really give it any other thought.
Okay.
Another Ninian of some variety.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Okay. Right, let's move on then to Legacies of Mythos.
Right, so I think we get 4 this year again. And I think Xylona and Aetheron will be in Legacies.
Okay.
I also think we get Malachi Cinderhorn. And I wonder if we'll just get a redo of Ravenna. I know she doesn't necessarily fit, but I'm thinking that versus.
I know Kevin Boots will be happy, and then that would make me happy. And Rich being unreasonably upset, so that would be like the mother load there. That would be great.
Do you know what I mean?
You two
say that for Horseman are pandering to me. If we get a female barbarian as a
maybe this
version
is
2 of Ravenna,
really
they're rebelling. They're not pandering to me at all.
You need to balance out the force,
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking in terms of that, verses. So if we're getting Malachi Cinderhorn, we need, and there are the male elves in, or the elves in, but I don't think they'd do that because they'd be too similar. But yeah, and I don't know, I just get this feeling we're going to get version 2 of Malachi at some point.
Not a bad shout at all, yeah. Rich, what have you got for Legacies?
So I think we might get 6 figures this year.
And they're going to redo all the fishmen that they hadn't done.
Exactly. No. It'll either be 6 this year.
Prince Sir Galeron takes off his helmet and he's a shark.
He's a fish.
That would be amazing.
You're so easily pleased,
I know.
really. I mean, you're easily disappointed as well, but you're so easily pleased.
Yeah, I don't often go, meh. I'm like, no, brilliant. Okay, so I think they'll stick with the faction versus faction sort of thing as they did this year.
Okay.
So if they decide to go flock versus brood, I think for the flock we'll either get Asterion in a brute scale, so more heft to the Minotaur, or we'd get Orn Steelhide. I think he's ripe for reading, as Mal said. You know, give him slightly longer limbs, less armor, and an helmeted head, all that sort of stuff. And then from the brood side, it's got to be Carpathius, because that's the worst vampire figure they put out.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah.
So, you know, better armor, a new head sculpt. Again, back to the long, creepy fingers that I described earlier for the Harpy. Yeah, so he'd be a good shout. Another option for faction versus faction, Balaam for the convocation, and do a new head. Not that head again. New head. Flocked as well.
You
just
with the bare arms option.
Even I didn't predict that.
Yeah. And then for the Circle of Oxus, to be against him, as it were, Zarya. So I think more of a scaled look to the sort of flesh rather than the smooth sort of look. Change the head up a little bit so it's less obviously like Azar and Zazar. I mean, you know, it's a female version of that at the moment. Let's change that up a little bit. And then some sort of like wicked, evil-looking weapon of some sort as well. And then the other two, I think we'll get Xylona and Aetheron, but they can't put them out too far before the Reign of the Beasts. So they can't do them like mid-year this year, and then you have to wait another year, 15 months, whatever it is, for Leodicius and the other lady you've forgotten.
Basilia.
Basilia, thank you. Yes. So then I was thinking, well, maybe they could do them at Legions Con. And I was like, but if they do them at Legions Con, there's going to be like exclusive bits, even if it's just one exclusive bit. And people may lose their minds at
for those
a big character like that having an exclusive bit that they can't get, sort of thing.
Yeah, agree.
So that's why I think those two might actually carry on into the start of next year. And we'll have the other four.
What would you think about just exclusive packaging for Legions Con being the exclusive bit of it for a character like that?
I don't think they'd do that even, I think.
No, I don't think people would go for that. It's just like, well...
No, but they'd go for it just because they want to get the figure.
They get the figure early, I guess. Yeah.
There would be an element of an exclusivity to it.
I might do. You might be right. Yeah.
You know, it'll hit those guys and then the rest of us won't care, but we don't care anyway, really.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's not going to really annoy people too much.
I think nobody.
I mean, there is inbox people, but not as many in this line, I don't think.
Yeah.
Right. My legacies, I was looking at them and I was like, I can't believe they haven't said these. Thord, Ironjaw.
I think he'll be a version 2.
And
like a later on version of Thord.
Versus Malleus. So in the kind of versus style.
I do definitely think we need a new Malleus.
We 100% need a new Malleus, but we had Scaphoid last time, so I think they'd avoid that faction this year.
Possibly, yeah.
Do you think?
I think so, because he was on my list of like possibilities, but I think just because we've had a Congregation of Necronominus figure, I think they'd probably try and get the other factions in first. Thord we're definitely going to get again, but I think it might be like a proper V2, probably in the G-Con wave. And none of us have predicted it. But like, you know, an older, more battered Thord sort of thing, rather than just a reworking of the one.
That's not a bad shout, because the dwarves feel like they are ones you could give a story behind them coming back to the good side of the Grey Vein Mountain and all that, couldn't you? But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the other option for a dwarf is Orn Steelhide, which you guys have predicted more as a version 2 rather than the legacies, but
I know
I could
Rich
see
said
him.
Legacies.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, Legacies.
Which
For me,
So,
in some ways, I'd prefer him to be Legacy because we'll get him sooner than if he's in.
yeah.
already probably. And then my other two, Balaam
Good man.
and Sir Galeron. Not a versus as such, but I think Galeron is more.
He seems to be a popular character, doesn't he?
And he's also. Isn't there potential for him to be evil? Based on his bio? Or,
he's a bit. Yeah, he's a bit.
so maybe they pop him in a new faction.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Well, he talks about wanting revenge, doesn't he? So, on whoever killed his family or whatever, or killed somebody.
As long as he comes with an helmeted shark head, I'm happy.
And then I said it already, but Etheron and Xylona are the kind of outside pick for legacies, but I think we'll get them some way, shape, or form this year. Okay. So, any more Mythic stuff?
I'm
can chat at random stuff. I've said we will get at least teased with a new dragon this year.
Do you think a new?
Ooh.
Like a colorway with maybe a new head or something, but just a tease. So like maybe like last slide of G-Con, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think we will.
Okay.
No, I think until the other one lands, they're not going to even start teasing anything else.
I also put the Revenant is going to sell out at the in-stock sale and people are going to lose their minds. It's going to be the one that just goes, and that's why when you said you were going to pick up 3 of him, I'm like, no, you're not.
Surely they'll have ordered tons of him.
No, I don't think so. I think this was all settled before Legion's gone.
You could be right.
I'm sure there's more of him than the 2.0. But,
oh, yeah, no doubt.
But I think people will go crazy for him. So that's another. That's just a small prediction. I'm going to double down. Do we have a RPG Kickstarter?
Yeah, I got a couple of bits for that.
We could move on to RPG
let's go on to that one.
couldn't we? Yeah,
you go for that then, Mal.
So I think RPG will fund in a couple of weeks. I think it will fly. Because I think the people who are into it are really into it. And I think there's actually probably going to be more people than we realise, but also then, besides those who are interested in the RPG, there'll be people who just want the figures as well. So I think it's going to do really well and fly. How
do you think they're going to do the breakup between that? Because obviously, if they do the figures and the RPG as one, and they sell like $2 million worth of figures and 100 grand's worth of game, they'll be like, oh, that's can we produce the game?
That's a lot of game.
yeah, I think.
Well, let's lower the numbers then. But could it get to the point where they're like, can we even afford to produce the game? Because
I think
most of the money's come for the figures rather than the game.
I think
they'll have to structure it in a way.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. They'll have to structure it somehow. So we've
got to remember they're trying to. It is a book they're producing essentially, so the cost of that isn't quite the same as. I mean, okay, there's the minis figures and the minis and all that, but they're separate costs for all of that. So I reckon you'll find they do a book, the minis, or a set of the book, the minis, and or the figures, the book, the mini. It'll be like an all-in, or a this of this, or a this of this, and they're at the point where I bet you with that. Maybe not the figures, but the book and the minis, I bet you they're ready to just send them into printing or what would you call it, with a casting for the minis. Actually, I mean, it depends what the minis are made of as well, doesn't it? It's not like they have to worry about all the tooling in the same way. It's generally a solid single piece.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I think injection moulding. I suppose it all is injection moulding, but they're not then worrying about does that bit of injection moulding fit with that bit of injection moulding, and they probably will. They're probably using the same factories thinking about it. So I think the costs and you've also got to think. They're going to then want to also have a product to take on the road and sell after the fact. So they'll overproduce. They're not going to just produce as much as the Kickstarter sells. They're going to want to produce enough to be able to sell stuff afterwards, because this has got a different audience as well, hasn't it? And not all of that audience is necessarily going to become aware of it straight away. So there's probably an amount of marketing needs to be done in a different way and different. So there you go. They were at Philadelphia. Was it Philadelphia Games Expo, which isn't something they would normally do, but they were there primarily for the RPG. The figures just going along as well because they're part of what's going to be available, and they might get a few more people who want to buy the figures. This is the RPG they're selling. The figures are just because their original target are toy collectors. So yeah, I don't think they'll be worried about underselling on the RPG, on the game, the book of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to know the way it's structured. So what's the prediction there in the end then?
So I think it'll fund in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then it'll
couple, like 2?
Yeah.
You don't know how long it's going for?
No. It's usually, but Kickstarter, they usually go for a month, don't they? So
a month to 6 weeks, isn't it? Normally?
Yeah, so I think half the time, basically, at most. I think, well, now we've talked about the fact that Elf will come with a character pack. It might be that, especially with the colours of the Elf. I think that we get the evil character, because in D&D, and I assume this will carry over to the RPG, because why wouldn't it? You've got 3 types of alignment. You've got good, evil, neutral, and then you can be versions of lawful, chaotic, pure. No, not lawful. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head at the moment, but it's like pure evil, lawful evil, chaotic is definitely. Anyway,
we got the
nerds shouting at us now.
So I think we're getting evil one, and I wonder. This is the if I get it right. We may not, because it's a D&D property, but it does mean you could easily convert it. I wonder if we'll get the rules for Arcan for the RPG.
I think so.
And
it makes sense.
Characters designed specifically for the RPG.
Yeah, why do you think he's coming out before the RPG?
No. But that might not be with the actual.
No, but why do you think he's been solicited before the RPG?
Oh, why? Oh, yeah. Well, D&D
I mean,
fans,
there's a bunch of reasons why, but I think that
D&D fans get their eyes on the product, and yeah. So that's my little RPG predictions.
Okay, Rich.
Mine are very short because I'm not a D&D person, so I had to Google what even the character types were. Unfortunately, I think we'll get a barbarian warrior of some sort as one of the extra figures, and then an evil female sorcerer of some sort.
Very good. That's it. Glad you're not managing the campaign.
We'd have Fishman if he was managing.
I got to focus all my creative energies on the mid-year and G-Con waves. I can't be like,
Right. This is obviously stab in the dark because you don't know the funding level. Is the funding level going to be based on the figures or the game? Assuming it's based on the game and the figures are add-ons, I think that the Kickstarter will fund in the first 24 hours. No problem. That's my guess on that. Doubling down on my Dragon Kickstarter prediction that was wrong last year. I think then in terms of figures, I think we'll get a magic user, so like wizard or, some sort of a mage. That's really, got cloak and kind of classically
light
beard, the whole thing, Barbarian, definitely of some sort. Bruiser might necessarily be a barbarian, could be like a,
Rockman.
Kind of like a good orc or, Rockman, but some kind of a bruiser figure, yeah. Dwarf, I definitely think will come in the campaign somewhere. I think people that are into dwarfs are into RPGs. I think it's a kind of a. There's definitely a line there. If you're really into the kind of dwarf type character, you've probably you're probably heavy into this type of stuff. And then a long shot prediction, mightn't be that long shot, but for a character type, is a thief/bard, because I think Jeremy especially, that is his type of figure. I think he's mentioned that numerous times. That
the elf is the rogue, the thief. So
I understand that.
Could it be that the alternative character pack is the bard version of it? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Other species though. What, singing?
Yeah.
Maybe
singing big cat, John. Flock big cat singing.
A bird head.
Oh yes, bird, singing bird. Yeah, that would actually make sense. Right. Armory. Do we have any predictions around the armory?
I actually didn't think about that. No.
I didn't think of the armory. No, they'll order more parts than they did this year.
I don't think so. I think it worked out nicely this year in terms of selling out is always good. I know they would have ideally liked more to get them to the end of Legion's Con, but I think...
Okay, I'll check a quick prediction in. I think, because we'll have more parts by then, we might have a dwarves and goblins.
Okay.
Parts.
Yeah, set that. I would... Yeah. I might not. That's what I predicted. If that happened based on last year. I
predicted for the armory, build a dwarf, and an alternative or option for that is build creature characters. Would be a very long shot.
Pretty well up for that.
Might be down the line, maybe when we have more creature parts, even than we have today. Okay. What are we on to now? Cosmic Legions?
Yeah, let's do Cosmic.
So Mythic's done for everybody?
Yep. Okay.
Rich is reading through his novel.
I'm just checking my notes. I'm thinking there's another Mythic thing.
Okay. Well, if you happen to find it. Okay.
We've got Cosmic, Infinite, Figura Obscura, and Cosmic, yeah.
Cosmic.
And the graveyard stuff, if we want to have a guess at that. So Cosmics, I think we definitely get book 3 of Oxcrew this year, don't we? I think we get another Motu tribute in Oxcrew, and I think I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. We're getting Mosquito, because if people don't look at that High Lord Kryn helmet and see a Mosquito head, there's something wrong with them.
How did they do the goop, or simulate the goop? They just make it very...
I don't know that they need to, because it's just...
very glossy,
I suppose
black.
They could just paint it red, I suppose. I don't know. That's a good question, whether they've bother. But I suppose it is something that people hold quite dear about that character, isn't it?
I mean, they don't have to do the goop, but it's to represent it somehow.
Yeah. Well, the way you painted it, wouldn't it? It would be effective. I'm trying to think what parts. They could use a translucent chest piece. That could be quite cool. You know, like the bit. I think we get Thraxian leader of some kind. I'd like it if it was brute scale. I don't know if it will be. Could be ogre scale, because we've got that lizardy kind of texture for that, and that would set him apart. He'd be a big guy, and see why he was in charge of the Thraxians. We're going to get the final 2 members of the Ox crew. I think one will just be another whatever in the Velox suit, because at the moment all 4 of them are different sizes and shapes.
So what colour suit then?
That's a good question. What have we got? We've got blue, purple.
It's got to be like one of the primary colours, like green. Yellow or red.
Got to be green or something, doesn't it?
Yeah,
or green, yeah.
Because I think we get another Orvar-sized character as well. Not maybe with the big head, but, a little, because that's so popular. I wouldn't... Yeah. It depends on whether it was all decided before, or whether they were like, well, we could tweak this and do this. And
well, they need to reuse those pieces again, I think.
That's the other bit, isn't it? Yeah. But I wonder if we get something Tusk-related as well, because, of course, there was that suggestion the Tusk had gotten the...
They've got a message, hadn't they? Yeah, I didn't think of that.
So maybe we get another Tusk character of some description. We'll see, though. I'm less sure of that, because we've had the character packs.
Another reuse of Slog, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Something like that. It does feel
or
like...
Or not another, a reuse of Slog for the first time.
Yeah. Maybe, and he could be some kind of ship commander or something of some Tusk ship. But yeah. And I do wonder, I don't know where they'd fit it in though, but I wonder if we'll get a second Cosmic Wave. And if we do, I've got absolutely no idea what it'll be. I can't even begin to guess.
There's no point even predicting it.
Yeah.
Rich?
So, ideally, people listen to my previous predictions because I did a much better job than the rushed ones I put down here. But here we go. So, again, like Mal said, Ox Crew Book 3 we've got to get. We'll get the last two crew members. I think the communications officer, the one that's been doing all the talking, will be a female character, but using the Orvar armor. To have that slightly smaller sort of build. Quite a small head as well, so it really looks dwarfed by the armor, sort of thing. And I want something with multiple eyes. And I want multiple eyes on my alien.
Easily could do with them. It could be anything, couldn't it?
Then the other crew member, again, as Mal said, using the 1.0, as it were, buck. For that, I want two heads. I want it to have a neck with two heads coming off it. I think you can work that into that armor so the neck wouldn't look weird.
Definitely.
And personal preference, I don't think we'll get this necessarily unless I'm right at the G-Con, but tentacles for arms and feet.
I think you said tentacles last year as well. But
I did. I keep banging on about the tentacles.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get them at some point in the future, if not this year.
I hadn't thought about a Motu tribute, but now you've mentioned it, Mal, I've suddenly jotted down maybe Roboto and use that. Is it a Hylor Kryn helmet?
Yeah.
I think that could work really well for Roboto.
That's it. Could the Roboto tribute, because I wouldn't be surprised if we got two this year, could the Roboto tribute be using the Velox suit? It could easily, couldn't it?
Well, there's a Motu movie coming, so...
Exactly. And
yeah.
This summer.
That does look a bit like the Velox suit,
Yeah. Close enough.
We'll get the Wasteland Warlord. I think that's what they refer to him as.
That's the Thraxian, isn't it? Thraxian leader is the Wasteland Warlord, I think, wasn't it?
I don't think it will be. I think it'll
separate.
I think it'll be a separate thing. So I think it'll be. I put down here a big hulking fat alien using the slog body.
Fair enough.
I think for the Warlord, you want something just really big and no nonsense. I think he'll come with a couple of guards. So one would be a big, tough-looking dude. This goes against all my principles here, but shirtless. So like cosmic legs, but like a bare torso of some sort. And then like a big, this is a terrible way to describe it, but a big square head. So like just a really big, filled-out alien head sort of thing. So it's, the head's as wide as the torso almost. It's like, however that design would work. And then I think the other guard would be like a little skinny fella, so hopefully imp scale, but like a little alien, but really properly evil looking, maybe big eyes, lots of sharp teeth, that sort of thing. I think we'll get another Thraxian, but I think this will be a Thraxian.
Did you just describe an imp shark?
Or vampire.
I may well have done, yes. Yeah, he's got a fin. Jesus Christ, yeah. I think we'll get another Thraxian, but I'm thinking we might get an ogre scale Thraxian. That might be too much, maybe with slog, but like I was thinking like a, how do I put this politely? A not particularly intelligent Thraxian that maybe lugs stuff around but works for the new affiliation. So isn't part of the Thraxians. He works for the new guys. Does lots of carrying and lifting. And then we get another skate back of some sort. And it could either be a beast of burden to help you big lumbering Thraxian, or it could be like an attack beast for the Warlord. It's a bit more of a nasty skate back.
That'd be kind of cool, sort of a beast handler, so he's got multiple of some kind of Thraxian skate backs. That'd be quite cool.
Okay, I didn't go down the character route for this, really. I thought that Ox Crew 3 now will be solicited before the summer. So summer is July, I think. So let's say in the first half of this year then. And I think there will definitely be lots more reuse of the spacesuits, given how popular they are. And Dio pieces. I think we'll get another Dio pack
for sure.
in it. And I think that would be the only Cosmic Legions kind of main release this year. will be that. And we might get a figure here and there from it, but I think that'll be kind of the speed of Cosmic will change to one wave a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right there, John.
Yeah. That's all I have for Cosmic. So we can move on to Figuras.
Yeah, that's what I've got next.
And then the Graveyard. Do we have anything else after that?
Infinity Legions.
Infinite Legions.
Yeah, that's a real tricky one. I was trying to think.
Oh no, I've got
a solid Figura
for that. Yeah, Figura. I think we're going to get less Figura this year. I think we might just get the 2. I think
I've gone the other way. I've gone 4.
Right. I think we get another god, and I think we get the Ghost of Christmas Past this year. And I think that's
present.
Sorry, Christmas present. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'm helping you with your predictions. What am I doing? John, he said past. You've already had that one. He said past.
Yeah. I'll clip that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think one more thing on Cosmic. Sorry to hijack.
No,
back.
Sorry.
We'll get the comic this year, finally.
Oh, I hope we do. I really hope we have.
Yeah, we've got it, haven't we? Surely.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue with your Figura.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I just think we get the 2 this year.
Okay.
Everything else. Rich?
I think we might get 4 this year. I think they're really, as a company, it sounds like inside knowledge, I don't. But it sounds like they're really enjoying dropping in stock stuff. So they're conscious that there's lots of pre-orders out there. So dropping in stock is actually a pretty cool thing. So I think we'll get another Gods of Egypt character. I think it's going to be Sekhmet, who's the lioness god of war. I think I threw my box at Legions Con, so can't say for certain, but I think she might have been on the Thoth box, which suggests she might be next.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll get her. I think we might get a sneaky one here, another Journey to the West character. It's been a couple of years since we had the last one, but I think we might. And I think if we're going to get one, it'll be Pigsy.
Okay.
I'd be all about that. I'd love that if we did.
For the Halloween-themed one, I am going Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's probably because it's a fish-type thingy, and I'm slightly biased towards that. But I think that'd be a really cool character to have.
It would work.
It would definitely work, yeah. There's a lot of figures of it out already, though. So
there are. I mean, I might have gone down the vampire route, but I think because there's a chance we're going to get vampires at some point in the
asking about
Einsammal or whatever. So
what cryptids people would want, but was that going to be is that too soon?
I think that's probably further back because they plan these so far in advance.
Yeah.
And then the Christmas one will be Ghost of Christmas Present. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's a 2-pack, though, with the Ghost of Christmas Future 2. Just because they skipped a year. So maybe to catch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It also feels like there's not... You wonder what they could do with the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, or whatever they call it, of the future. Because it's essentially the Grim Reaper, isn't it? And we've got... How do they make that different to Maxilius? Yeah,
absolutely.
So that maybe you're right. Yeah,
but he doesn't have the right color matching cape for the other figures. Right,
it'd look pretty much.
It looks fine. Yeah, it would look perfectly fine. Right. I don't see a slot for this one to be put in and arrive on time. So it's definitely not correct. But Easter Bunny, I just don't see a slot.
So good.
I would love that.
Because the RPG thing, I think, will still be maybe funding them, maybe just after the end of that. I don't know.
I was going to say, if the RPG sorry, John, the RPG runs up to like the end of March, so it's a month. Then it's the start of April, isn't it? So potentially squeeze the. But then
you'd want to 2 weeks, sell it 2 weeks before Easter, maybe, to be on the nose of it.
They have dropped them in the middle of things being on pre-order before, though.
Maybe, yeah. Then I do have Monkey King Revisited, Pigsy or Sandy. I think it's time if they're going to revisit that.
I'm just not optimistic they're going to do that.
I mean, I wish I don't need any more Gods of Ancient Egypt. I know I'm in the minority there. With I think they are popular.
Yeah,
and now that we've got a few of them, people will be keen to keep going.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I understand, but I'm done with them, I think, unless
I've actually contemplated getting rid of the ones I've got, to be honest. Yeah. They're just not, I don't know. I know.
Same. And then lastly, apart from, Ghost of Christmas Present. Is it present? Yeah. I think we'll get that to placate the moaners. And
do you think, actually, so I've just thought, sorry, John, again, if I don't say it now, it's going to drop out my head, so I'm not interrupting to be awkward. But do you think they'll drop a teaser that suggests it's a nutcracker, and then they'll give us Ghost of Christmas Present just to balance it out? People that lost their mind over the last one, rightly or wrongly, will just be a bit more chilled.
Just to wind up the nutcracker people, definitely. Yeah. And then Red Riding Hood and Wolfie is my other one.
I would love that. That'd be so good.
That might be the autumn one. It would be so good. Yeah. And like the Wolfie, there's two options, obviously totally new, where it's like a wolf type companion type creature, or the Windagi with the wolf head.
I think
be a 2-pack. It would
really
be expensive, but I think people would buy it, and it's a way of packaging a 2.0 with the 1.0.
Or would they try and reuse some of the Garmir stuff?
Maybe
make him ogre scale.
Oh no! Then you got a 2-pack plus it's an ogre and a 2.0.
Yeah, I guess it might get a bit expensive at that point. Yeah,
I think so. And I don't think Garmir, will be released by then. So, that I always think that's a bit of a strange one for such a big kind of figure. Yeah. So that's my Figuras. Graveyard, what do we got?
Yeah, part of the reason I kind of think they might drop the Figura is because they kind of cover the Halloween, with the graveyard. And I think they might go for translucent skeletons this year. And funny you say about the Big Bad Wolf, because I wonder if we'll get werewolves in the graveyard set this year. Because for the same reason,
so use them. I had werewolves down as my graveyard prediction. As well.
You do. There you go. Yeah. So, So I do think we might get that, and they'll stick with the skeletons because it's a fun.
Yeah, there'll be the translucent skeletons in the boxes this year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think you two are probably right, but just be different. I'm going to go graveyard vampires.
Yeah,
could equally
also
be,
a cool one. Yeah. Would you like Vampire Knight bodies, like 2.0?
Yeah, I love that body. So I'd happily take that.
To do it on more like the Marley torso style of vampire body, if they did it, I think. Rich doesn't look impressed by that idea.
No, I'm trying to think. You said Marley. I was like...
Jacob Marley. So, the coat and the
coats and that sort of stuff. Yeah. That could be good, actually,
the traditional Count Dracula, I guess.
Yeah. No, that would work well, actually, Mel. Yeah.
Right, are we finishing off on Infinite Legions then, or do you have more?
Yeah, no, that would be... Well, I've got one Legions con theory, but it's not a figure.
Let's throw that in at the end
Legions.
Then. Yeah,
it's kind of the end, spoiler, it's kind of linked. So I think the first... So with Arkan, we know we're getting Arkan. I think we get Torragar Steel Fist with him, which is his Minotaur bodyguard, and I think it uses, because if you look him up, his lower half isn't dissimilar looking to the Jersey Devil's lower half, and then he's got a big Minotaur muscular upper torso. I mean, he's meant to be like cow legs, but it looks a bit more like the Jersey Devil style of legs, and that would make him big as well. So I think we might get him. And I do actually think, so it's a bit confusing when you're looking up about the Dark Order, because there's a dark barbarian and a demon mention, but it actually looks like they're not actually part of the Dark Order officially. So they might not be owned by Joe Manganiello, they might be D&D. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get all 4 of the Dark Order, at least for pre-order this year, which means then the second ones will be the Manticore, and which I forget what his name was, and I forgot what the other, the Tortigar.
The Tortle.
Tortle, yeah, would be the second two. So yeah, that's my theory on Infinite Legions this year.
So that's the whole Infinite Legions is
the Dark
Arkham.
Order. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not all in January, not all in this next. I think we'll get 2.
Okay, you think there'll be
another
2 and
2
2
later down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rich, what you got?
I think we're only going to get the one stuff that comes out in January. I think Infinite Legions is a slower slow drip feed. Okay. I think I'm hoping we get Kroll the Turtle, because that's an awesome looking character. But I could absolutely see Toragor Steelfist being done, and then that would give you the body as well. Or, you have the body then for Asterion if you're going to do the...
Yeah, that was my thinking.
The Legacies one. So, so in that respect, that probably makes more sense.
Takes less new tooling than Arkan did. So Arkan is like almost... Well, he's completely new tooling, isn't he? Pretty much. So that one would give him a bit of a relief. They'd still be able to use 3.0 parts. So he matched Arkan, and he would be, and
a worst case scenario for me would be that we get one of his barbarian berserkers.
I don't think we are getting that now.
No, I really hope we don't.
I've looked into it a bit more.
Okay. I think I can't really add to the Arkan thing. I think we will get a couple or one or two of the other characters in that whole thing that he has, So, take your pick from them, I would say. I think Mal makes a good point on, what parts might match up. So let's see. I think there's a lot of people saying the title. So I think that's maybe a wish list thing more than anything, more than a, grounded than anything else.
To get him looking like him, it's again a completely new tooled figure. To get it looking anything like him,
which you could really use as a turtle character in the G-Con wave. Yeah. Just saying.
Infinite Legions is so broad that it could literally be anything. So predicting on it is insane. The only thing I could think of that might make some sense and has a possibility of happening is maybe crossing over with Mezco on their own IP. Mezco has their own IP, Gomez and all that kind of stuff.
That's an interesting
Maybe
one.
some sort of collaboration on that. So Gomez is a kind of a bug type character. The whole thing. So maybe there's some crossover potential there. I don't know though, because Mezco is pretty, is a toy company in the same scale as Horseman, and probably, just as big at least. So, and thinking of smaller guys, I mean, I don't know small. I mean, Joe Manganiello is a big, famous person, but he's not a toy person. So that's a perfect person to collaborate with.
He fits that mold of they've never made figures of those. Well, other than the D&D minis of those characters.
The O'Neill design was they had a link previously anyway, but that's a totally different scale, and it's a smaller operation than Horseman.
Yeah. I wonder if, because they can't really go near the big company stuff, whether they find maybe a comic book, like an independent comic book, and take a couple of characters from one of those. Yeah. Again, that would be a good way to spread the word for the comic.
This is where Armies of Ashmore, Matt Rod's line, could have maybe fit in if they hadn't have actually helped him get him off the ground himself. Maybe this is where it fits in to go forward to make things easier for him. So shipping and all that kind of gets taken out of being an issue for that line. Maybe that's something. Yeah. And then you could think of all the smaller companies that are at Legions Con, or small or similar. So like Plunderlings, AWOC, Galactic Valor, Odious, all these parallel universe, all those ones. Yeah, take your pick. That could happen.
I think because they're similar scales, with the exception of Plunderlings, I think people might not be keen to do crossovers on that sort of stuff.
Formo Toys. They could do something there, because they're more the He-Man, the old classic He-Man style. But again, they've got their own thing, haven't they? So maybe.
And then you got the Zolo stuff that kind of is taken care of at the ZoloCon anyway. But maybe to formalize that into an official thing of its own, maybe within Legions, maybe. Right.
My one prediction for Legions Con.
Right, let's go on a banger. You've nothing left, Rich? You're done?
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I think.
Good. Mal,
I think
bring us home.
As long as you're not filming and working on anything, I think Mr. Manganiello makes an appearance at next year's Legions Con.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't announce that beforehand so we actually have a chance to get tickets.
That's going to say if he does, my wife might be coming along with me for the first time. Remember, stay safe out there, everybody. Everyone's seen Final Destination, predictions. Yeah, seen in the future. Not good.